there's a lot you can do to actually present in a way which is going to at least give them that initial first impression of, oh, okay, this is a good start, and
Mm,
that's providing you've got everything that follows on after that.
mm, mm.
It's content, confidence, everything else. That you
Absolutely. I mean, we're assuming substance, aren't we? Here, we're
we assume
assuming.
substance, exactly. If you've got to that point and you're in that meeting, we assume that you've got the substance to follow on with, and it's how you deliver. Then it's the confidence that you have within yourself, and yeah, how you land.
Mm,
It's also in that it's the confidence, isn't it? When you go into that situation that I've done everything I can.
mm, mm. That prep's really important. I wrote a book on confidence in 2018, 2017, 18. I've written a book on leadership confidence specifically. And I absolutely believe that there's an internal and an external element to that, as I said earlier. If we can understand who we are at our best, what are we great at? What are our strengths? What gives us energy? What do we value? What makes us stand out? What are we here to do in our leadership work? And we're really centered around that. So there's a whole lot of internal work that helps to give us self-confidence.
Mm.
And that strength is also around, when you wake up in the morning, what do you do for yourself that helps you to feel strong and grounded? So, that might be exercise in the morning, it might be breathing, meditation, whatever it is. All
Mm.
that work that we do for ourselves ensures that when we walk in the door or turn on the Zoom, we've got at least half a chance. We're halfway there in terms of how we feel about ourselves and the confidence.
Mm.
And then the other key thing I think is there's a lot of people that go back to back to back in meetings, and I'm talking leaders.
Mm.
And we need to create some space and time to plan for what we want our voice to be, what impact we want to have, because our voice matters more in meetings than we generally think.
Mm.
So we need to create some time and get a little bit out of the doing to think about how do we want to be? What voice do we want to have? What impact do we want to have? What questions do we have that are going to actually make a real impact? And so I think that absolutely goes to presence as well, because if we're distracted and we run into a meeting, we're 10 minutes late and we're still processing the last meeting, and and we haven't, even if we are strong and self-confident, but we're distracted and we're all over the place, it's still not going to be great for our presence.
No, absolutely not. It's distracting for everyone else then, because they can tell that you're actually not fully present. Interesting, just going back to what we're talking about being present in the moment. And I think, yes, the whole planning thing has a lot to do with that. What am I doing for the day? How many meetings have I got? Who am I meeting through the day? What's happening in between? What am I going to wear today so that I am comfortable and
Mm,
I'm not going to be worrying about too hot or things don't, feel comfortable on my skin, or, doesn't look good when I look in the mirror. All of those sorts of things, as well as what content do I need to have prepared?
mm.
What are the questions I need to ask? What are the outcomes that I want to achieve? Who do I need to target in the meeting? All of those sorts of
We
things.
don't need to sit in the meeting because, if
Yeah.
you run in late and you end up right up the back, if it's a big meeting,
Mm.
being able to use your voice and have an impact and be heard is a whole lot different. So I couldn't agree more with all of what you've just said. I'll often ask groups when I have this conversation with groups of female leaders, and it's absolutely not, this goes across all genders. But when I have this conversation with female leaders, I'll say, what gives you confidence? When you think about what you need to do for yourself, what gives you confidence? And they're just as likely to say, my red lipstick or my pink jacket, or my glasses, or something that I do for myself in
Mm.
terms of my appearance,
Mm.
as well as the deeper stuff. So I think it absolutely goes both ways.